So today's story is a poem that I wrote myself. So I don't have any pictures to show you, but if you want to do any pictures and illustrate it for me, then that would be absolutely great. Just pop a message in the comments below. Monsters in my head. Johnny, it's bedtime. It's time to go to sleep. To go into dreamland with clouds of fluffy sheep. To dream about knights and dragons of old, or to dream about fast cars covered in gold. But Johnny didn't want to. He hated his bed, for the things that he dreamed were not in his head. He was scared of the monsters that growled and roared, the monsters that slithered across the floor. And every sound heard would scare him even more as he waited for the monsters to pour from the door. He would hide in his bed with his torch under covers, clutching his bear and praying for Mother. But Mum didn't believe him. They're all in your head. Johnny, there are no monsters hiding under your bed. There's nothing in your closet but clothes and toys. You have to go to sleep like all the other boys. And then that night he did fall asleep. And from out of his dreams the monsters did creep. He dreamed of the biggest, slimiest monsters, so mean, with big black eyes and scales of green. It crept out the closet, straight out of his head, and slithered across the floor to stand by his bed. But Johnny was hiding and could not be seen, so the monster looked around and started to clean. He cleaned all the windows so they glistened and gleamed. He cleaned the furniture. The doorknobs, they beamed. He tidied all the toys that littered the floor. He tidied up the closet and shut tight the door. And when he was done, he collapsed in a chair and fell asleep while cuddling a bear. He wasn't a monster, despite his bad looks. He wasn't a demon, straight from a book. And Johnny slept on, without even a peep, and knew nothing of the monster who cleaned in his sleep. As he dreamed on, a new monster came, with multicoloured scales that looked like a flame. From under the bed this new monster slid and stood over the covers where Johnny was hid. He smiled and he grinned, his teeth sharp as blades, then ran for the kitchen, the cupboards to raid. There was crashing and banging, but Johnny slept more as this new flame monster threw things on the floor. And to add to the trouble came monster number 3, all tall and slender and skin of a tree. He stomped out the closet as loud as he could, and over little Johnny this monster tree stood. He reached out a branch and poked Johnny's side. Johnny woke up and could no longer hide. But this wasn't a monster who was very bad. This was a monster who was very sad. He wanted the company. He wanted to play, but he had no mouth, so he could not say. With no words to say, the monster slumped down and picked up a toy, a very sad-faced clown. He held it up high and shook it around, trying to make words without any sound. Johnny sat up, wiping sleep from his eye. Monsters were here again, but he could not cry. They were not all scary, not monsters at all. And then Johnny heard a scream from the hall. He bolted from his bed and out of the door, where his mum screamed at the kitchen floor. There sat the flame monster, clawing a pot, digging out Dad's chilies, ever so hot. "Mummy, don't worry. Try not to scream. These are the monsters from out of my dream. They're not really scary or not bad. I know that they're friendly. I'm really not sad." She held Johnny tight and gave him a hug, as the green monster gave her a tug. His smile was so big as he started to clean, he made all the kitchen glisten and gleam. Mum took Johnny's hand and took him to bed. "Let's get these monsters back into your head." He snuggled back down with a hug and a kiss, and he dreamed of the monsters he would always miss.